Hello everybody, it's your boy. So today I'm back with another brand new video. So today I think it's gonna be yet another episode of the WFR. As I think the last video that I actually uploaded on my channel was actually my 2024 YouTube recap, and I think that video actually got quite a number of views. So thank you guys for your support on that video. And yeah, so now let's actually start right with today's video, and we will start with the game on Monday 20th of January, which was actually the game between Ipswich Town and Manchester City, which actually ended up in a 6-0 victory for the away side as Phil Foden notched 2 goals and an assist as Manchester City thumped Ipswich Town to move back into the Premier League top four, even though now they are currently in the fifth position with them being 12 points ahead. 12 points behind Liverpool, with Liverpool having a game in hand. And yeah, I think the game there was really not much to talk about, as I think honestly Manchester City was just too good for Ipswich Town, as the good performances from Foden and De Bruyne actually showed why they are one of the best duos in the Premier League. And yeah, so hopefully Manchester City can carry that form into their next Premier League game. And now we're going on to the next game, which was actually on Tuesday, 21st of January, and we'll start the game between Chelsea and Wolves, which actually ended up 3-1 to the home side after an impressive performance from Chelsea, who actually managed to get a win after getting a late 2-2 draw against Bournemouth. And yeah, I think Chelsea really played better in that game, as yeah, they were just more dominant than Wolverhampton Wanderers in a game with, if I'm not wrong, Madueke, Tosin Alderweireld, and also Marc Cucurella getting the goals for them. And yeah, so this actually puts Chelsea into the fourth position, if I'm not wrong, and they'll be actually playing against Manchester City in a huge title match on Sunday morning, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, so now let's go on to the Champions League games, and we'll start with the first big game, which was between Atletico Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen, which actually ended up 2-1 to the home side, actually, after both teams got red card each, with Atletico Madrid's Pablo Barrios, if I'm not wrong, getting a red card before Bayer Leverkusen's leading, if I'm not, their goal scorer Pierre Hincapie was actually red carded in the 76th minute, and yeah, that actually led to their downfall, as Julian Alvarez managed to score a brace with goals in the 52nd minute and a 90th minute winner to come to edge out Bayer Leverkusen 2-1 in a game that probably many people expected Bayer Leverkusen to win due to their impressive unbeaten record last season, if I'm not wrong, and many people were expecting them to get another win or even a draw in this game. But yeah, Atletico Madrid was just too good for them, and now Leverkusen are in the eighth position, with them needing a win to get a higher position in the Champions League. And yep, so now let's go on to the next game, which is probably, I think, the game of the year so far, which was actually between Benfica and FC Barcelona, which actually ended up 5-4 to the away side in what I would say was a thrilling game, as many people actually thought that Barcelona were really very, very trash after Vangelis Pavlidis, if I'm not wrong, scored a early hat trick before Raphinha turned into prime Gareth Bale against Inter Milan to score an impressive brace, including a last-minute winner to give Barcelona an impressive win and to confirm their spot as a automatic side to the round of 16. And yeah, I think there's a lot of controversy involved with Wojciech Szczesny, who was actually at the receiving end of two penalty calls, but the second one actually wasn't called, as I do not know why. I think Benfica were robbed, and yeah, and the counter attack actually leaded to Raphinha's 96th minute winner. But yeah, I just feel that really Benfica was so unlucky to lose a game like that. And now let's go on the next game, which was actually between Liverpool and Lille, which actually ended up 2-1 to the home side thanks to goals from Salah and Elliott, which helped Liverpool to clinch a top 8 finish in the Champions League first phase. And yeah, I think the game there was also another red card with Vinicius Isa Mandi, if I'm not getting a red card just before David David actually scored the equalizer for the day. But yeah, I think that was a very very nervy performance from Liverpool despite us actually having the 2.46 xg and 13 shots. But I think we really could have capitalized on many of our chances, as we had five big chances that we should have put into the goal, but never mind. I think two will do. And yep, so now we are actually gonna most likely finish top unless we actually bottle it against PSV, which I don't think will happen. And yep, so now let's go with the games that actually took place on the 23rd of January on Thursday, and we'll start with the game between AC Milan and Girona, which actually ended up 1-0 to the home side, thanks to a 37-minute winner from Raphinha as AC Milan find themselves in an automatic qualifying places for the Champions League round of 16 following a fifth straight victory. And yeah, I think it was a very very impressive performance from AC Milan after them actually losing 2-0 to Juventus in Serie A. And yeah, and I hopefully AC Milan will be able to actually get a good result against their next opponent, which is actually Dinamo Zagreb. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And now we are going on to the next game, which was actually between Arsenal and Dinamo Zagreb, which actually ended up 3-0 to the home side after goals from Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Arsenal's captain Martin Odegaard clinched a impressive victory for Arsenal, as they are just 1 point away from securing their passage into the Champions League round of 16 after a very relatively comfortable win over the Croatian champions, if I'm not wrong, Dinamo Zagreb. And yeah, I think really the game was a very very good game in terms of Arsenal perspective, but I think in terms of Raheem Sterling, I think he had a quite poor game, as yeah, he could have finished off so many chances and he was substituted in the 59 minute. And now let's go on to the next game, which was actually between Feyenoord and Bayern Munich, which actually ended up 3-0 to the home side after a brace on Santiago Gimenez and a goal from their super sub RSA Ueda gave Feyenoord a 3-0 victory, as Feyenoord actually are, if I'm not creeping up the Champions League table with them in the 11th position and Bayern Munich in the 15th position. And yep, so now the Champions League is quite heavily contested right now. And now let's go on to probably the biggest game of Thursday, which was actually a six-goal thriller between PSG and Manchester City, which actually ended up 4-2 to the home side after Manchester City threw away a 2-0 after Manchester City actually had a early two goal lead in the first half, with in the second half, if I'm not wrong, with goals from Jack Grealish and Haaland. And many people really expected Manchester City to get a comfortable win, but PSG managed to come out of nowhere to score four goals to inflict yet another defeat on Manchester City after actually a five-match winning run, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, so now let's end off the Thursday Champions League review with the game between Real Madrid and Real B Salzburg, which actually ended up 5-1 to the home side after braces from both Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior and a goal from Mbappe, as Real Madrid is into knockout rounds of the Champions League with what I would say a very very convincing performance. And yep, so hopefully Real Madrid will be able to do better for the next few games that they have in hopes of actually winning the La Liga title. And now I'm actually going to be talking about, in my opinion, the top five transfers of this week, and we'll start with probably the one of the biggest transfers so far during this transfer window, which is the transfer of Kyle Walker from Manchester City to AC Milan on a season-long loan deal, which could actually turn into an option to buy for AC Milan for additional 2 years. And yeah, my opinion on this, I think really this is a really really very controversial transfer, as really now with the poor situation of Manchester City right now, they are barely able to get any wins right now, as in their previous game they actually lost 4-2 to PSG in the Champions League. And yeah, I think this transfer really could hurt Manchester City in the right back position, as now currently in my opinion I don't think they really have a good right back instead of John Stones, but John Stones I think he is more suited as a centre back. And yeah, so I think this is a win-win situation for Kyle Walker and AC Milan, as Kyle Walker is actually now trying to reconcile with his wife due to the third party situation. And for AC Milan, it's actually a good transfer, as now they are actually trying to get a better right back than Calabria, who in my opinion in the last few seasons hasn't been really living up to the expectations that many people really had of him since he was a youngster. And now we're going on to the second transfer, which I think was really interesting, which was a transfer of Lye Wahi from Olympic Marseille to Frankfurt. So as you guys actually didn't know, Lye Wahi is actually from Marseille, and he has actually been signed to be the replacement for Omar Mamouche, who has actually signed for Manchester City on a 65 million pound move, which could actually go up to 75 million pounds, including add-ons. And yeah, I think this transfer is a bit weird, as Lye Wahi this season has only scored 3 goals in 13 matches, and he hasn't been really very consistent in terms of match performances, as in his previous 5 or 6 matches he hasn't been at least getting a goal in those games. And yeah, and now he is currently on a thigh injury, and he could be expected to return in a few weeks. But yeah, I think even though I don't really think this transfer is gonna be very impactful on Frankfurt, I think it could still be a very key asset for Frankfurt this season. And now let's go on to a very interesting transfer that I think was very interesting, and I think we will go with the transfer of Randall Kolo Muani from PSG to Juventus. And yeah, this transfer I think is a very interesting transfer, as really ever since that World Cup performance in 2022, Randall Kolo Muani actually attracted so many clubs' attention, and PSG eventually bought him, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, I think his time at PSG hasn't been the best, as he has only scored 11 goals in 54 matches, and now he has actually secured a move to Juventus. And now Juventus are actually lacking uh, depth or even a strike partner for Dusan Vlahovic, and I think this will be a very good transfer in case Vlahovic really leaves. And now let's go on to another transfer which I think is very interesting, which was the transfer of Abdul Qadir Kusanov from RC Lens to join Manchester City on, I if I'm not wrong, a 45 million pound move. And yeah, I think this youngster I think is a very talented player, as he actually had very good performances against PSG in the past 2 months, if I'm not wrong, with him getting a 7.8 average match rating. And yeah, even though he is just only 20 years old, I think he could be a future superstar in the centre back position for not just Manchester City but for Uzbekistan, as now they are currently one of the most exciting nations in Asia. And now we will actually end off my top 5 transfers of this week with probably the most high profile one, which was Kubica Kvaratskhelia to PSG from Napoli for, if I'm not wrong, 85 million pound move. And yeah, in terms of a Napoli perspective, I think it's really very unfortunate for them to lose probably, I think, their best player to a club who is currently in a very, let's just say, a very easy league, as now they are very dominant in that league without any losses, if I'm not wrong, in League One. And I think with this transfer of Kubica Kvaratskhelia, hopefully they can have a good run in the Champions League. And yeah, so guys, tell me in the comments down below, which player do you think had the best transfer of this week? And yeah, so thank you guys for watching this week's episode of the WFR. I hope you guys enjoy this video, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as I am trying to get 150 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, and this week's shout out goes out to Titus and Hamsapnida guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios amigos. Peace.